Hey y'all, and welcome. I will be reading you a story. It's called Spider and the Crows. It comes from Nigeria. And this time I will be showing you the pictures. There's one particular picture that is absolutely gorgeous. It really is. So, anyway, I will turn the camera around again and we will begin. I also apologize in advance if I mispronounce names. Okay. Spider and the Crows. The spider plays a dramatic role in many African stories. He is often exceptionally resourceful, as is evident in this Nigerian folk tale. In the stories of Ashanti, he is known as Waku Anansi. The illustrator is Veronica Tacho. I personally know the spider as Anansi. Okay, so let's begin. Long ago, there was a great famine in a certain land, and no one had anything to eat. No one, that is, except the crows. Every day they flew a great distance to pick figs from a tree that stood in the middle of a wide river. Then they brought the fruit home to eat. When Spider heard about this, he immediately thought of an ingenious plan. He smeared his hind quarters with beeswax, took a potsherd, and went to the crows on a pretext of borrowing a burning coal. The crows were busy eating when he arrived, and all around them on the ground lay figs. "Morning, dear friends," said Spider, sitting down carefully on one of the delicious figs. "Could you give me a burning coal?" Taking the burning coal, Spider thanked the crows and walked away with the fig firmly attached to his sticky hindquarters. The crows did not suspect anything because of the cunning thief, pretending to be courteous, walked backward as he left them. At home, Spider extinguished the burning coal and quickly went back to the crows to ask for more fire. This time, Spider chose the largest and ripest fig, and after some time, walked away cheekily with his spoils. And then he did it a third time. By now, the birds were beginning to get suspicious. "Why do you keep coming to get a burning coal from us?" they asked. "By the time I get home, the coal is burned out. This happens every time," answered Spider. "You are lying," said the oldest crow. "I'm sure you put it out so that you have an excuse to return here again. You are just after our food, you sly creature." Spider began to cry bitterly. "Oh no, that's not true. The coal burned itself out. Oh, ever since my parents died, life has been difficult for me. When they were still alive, my parents assured me that if I ever needed anything, I should ask their friends, the crows. Yes, that's just what they said, and now look how you treat me," he sobbed. "Oh, stop crying now," said the oldest crow, picking up a fig. "Take this and go home. If you come back again tomorrow morning at daybreak, we'll take you to the fig tree." "Thank you kindly, dear friends," said Spider, and ran home as fast as his legs could carry him. That night, just as the crows were dozing off, Spider took a bundle of straw and made a large fire near the bird's nest. It's morning," called Spider as the flames rose high in the sky. "Just look how red the sun has made the eastern sky." But the oldest crow answered, "No, Spider, you made a fire. Wait until you hear the cock crow." Spider crept into the hen house and disturbed the fowls until the hens began to cackle and the large cock crowed. "Wake up, it's morning," he called out. "Trickster, you have woken the fowls, Spider," answered the oldest crow. "Come, let us rather wait until we hear the first call to prayer." "Allah is great, Allah is great," called Spider from behind a bush. But the oldest crow said, "No, I recognize that voice. It's you who called, Spider. Go home and stay there. I'll call you when the sun rises." All Spider could do was wait. He went home and fell asleep. Eventually, when it began to get light, the crows woke him and each crow gave him a feather. With his borrowed feathers, Spider flew with the crows to the fig tree in the middle of the wide river. But every time one of the crows wanted to pick a fig, he shrieked, "No, you can't. I saw it first. It's mine." And then he would take the fig and put it in his bag. Things continued in this way until there was no fruit left on the tree. Spider picked all the figs for himself, and the crows got none. "Now I know that you really are a trickster," said the oldest crow. Angrily, the crows snatched back the feathers that they had lent him and flew away, leaving him alone. And there Spider stayed, all alone in the fig tree, completely surrounded by water. And for the first time in his life, he didn't know what to do. Later, when darkness descended, he began to cry. "If I don't want to stay here in the tree for the rest of my life, I'll just have to jump into the air like the crows," Spider said to himself at last. He took a deep breath, and plop, he fell into the water right among the crocodiles. "And what do we have here?" asked an old crocodile. "Can we eat it?" "Don't be ridiculous," Spider answered quickly, and he began to sob. "I'm one of you. Don't you know that everyone has been searching for me for years? I ran away in the days of our grandfathers when I was very small, and no one has ever found me. You are the first of my family members I've met." Spider cried so hard that the tears splashed on the ground. The crocodiles themselves cried crocodile tears. "You poor thing," they cried, sniffing loudly. "Don't worry, you can stay here with us in the hole on the bank where we lay our eggs." But one of the crocodiles was suspicious and examined Spider very carefully. "We must first make sure that he really is one of us," he thought. "Come, let's give the stranger a little mud soup," he said quietly to another crocodile. "If he drinks it, then we'll know he speaks the truth. If he doesn't, we'll know that he tells lies, and he is definitely not one of us." And so it was done. When Spider saw the gourd of mud soup, he pretended that he was very excited. "Where did you find this delicious recipe of my grandmother's?" he asked, pretending to drink the soup. But he quietly dug a hole with his back feet and made a tiny hole in the bottom of the gourd with his front feet. "That was delicious," he declared, putting the gourd behind him while the concoction oozed into the ground. "Well, he's definitely one of us," the crocodiles said to each other when they saw the empty gourd. So they allowed Spider to sleep in the hole together with the group of small crocodiles and 101 crocodile eggs. Before Spider crept in, he said, "Remember now, children, If you hear a plop in the night, don't be afraid. It will just be me burping as a result of her mother's delicious mud soup. When all the crocodiles were asleep, Spider took an egg and threw it into the fire. Plop! The egg burst open. That's the strange grandfather uncle of ours burping, said the little crocodiles to each other. All the large crocodiles who overheard them said, "Quiet, children, one mustn't speak about the family like that." But Spider said, "Leave them alone. They're my grandchildren. They can say what they like." So he baked the eggs in the fire, one after the other, and ate every single one. All through the night, the crocodiles heard plop every now and then, and every time someone said, "It's just her strange grandfather uncle who is burping." By morning, there was only one egg left. When the adult crocodiles asked the young ones who to turn the eggs, Spider said quickly, "Don't worry, I've done it already." Then the crocodiles suggested that the eggs be counted. "I'll bring them out one at a time for you," said Spider. He brought the egg out of the hole, put it in front of the crocodiles, and the crocodiles made a mark on it. Spider disappeared in the hole again, licked off the mark, and brought it back. Again, the crocodiles marked the egg. And so he carried the same egg back and forth. 2, 3, 4. The crocodiles counted the eggs until they reached 101. "All of our eggs are still there," they said every day, entirely satisfied. "I'm so glad I have found my blood relatives again," said Spider one day. "But I want to go and fetch my wife and children so that we can all be together." "Go and do so," said the crocodiles. "But come back quickly so you can play with us again and help us count the eggs." "Of course," said Spider, the trickster. "It's a great game, isn't it? If you help me cross the river, I'll come back very soon." The crocodiles put him in a canoe, and two of them rowed him away. But one of the pair, who thought further than his long snout, did not trust the situation. When they were in the middle of the river, he turned around and said, "Wait a minute, I'm coming back now. I just want to go and check the eggs." And thus the crocodiles discovered the one marked egg. "Such a trickster!" they screamed. "Bring him back immediately. He is not one of us," they shouted across the river. But the crocodile who was rowing the canoe was a bit deaf. "Listen," Spider said to the rower. "They say you must hurry. It's nearly high tide." And he spurred the crocodile on until he was safely on the other side. And so he got clean away. And the translator for the story is Diane Stewart. And that's the picture I wanted to show you. And this story comes from Nelson Mandela's favorite African folk tales, a treasure for everyone in the family. Bill Cosby said that. Yeah.